was a really well executed episode of Fate Stay Night, and it's not as if it was special. It was just really well done, and that's what makes Fate Stay Night. Personally, I'm gonna fire shots at people, but I think Stay Night in pretty much every category is already better than Fate Zero because the characters are better. They were better from the beginning. They just needed more of them. Then you just have like the art and animation are better than Zero. Significantly, and I think anybody can point that out. I think the only thing that may not be better than Zero's is possibly the soundtrack, and there are some times where the soundtrack is even better than Zero. So overall, I think the show's just better than Fate Zero. But now that I'm done firing shots at people, moving on. There's a part around the 4 minute mark, I think, where there's like this Pidgeot that appears. Therefore, episode 10 out of 10. No, I'm just joking with you. But there was a bird, and it just reminded me of Pidgeot, so I just thought, hey, that's really cool. So anyways, one thing that I did notice about this compared to Fate Zero is that Saber has a lot more character. And I feel as if that's something that Fate Zero kind of downgraded in her character now. Now that I'm looking at it, it just seems as if Fate Zero compared to Fate Stay Night, the characters, in my opinion, are just looking worse and worse because the characters in Fate Stay Night actually have personality and there's reasons behind their actions, whereas, I don't really have to explain. I need to stop making these comparisons before somebody kills me. But overall, I think that Saber getting character in Stay Night is something that I really like, and if she gets into a Japanese schoolgirl uniform, I'm going to fucking lose it. And another thing about this episode is that it shows how well a harem can be executed, because there's no doubt this is a harem. But it's not a typical harem, and it's in the case that it's not ecchi, and there's not always opie thrown at your face, and there's not ass in your face 24/7. You get the point. It's just well executed. Where it's just like all these girls like him. They're just gonna do what they want, to get him, and they're not going to shove the rest in his face. And that's something that's really refreshing. I think that this is almost like a perfectly executed harem situation, and it's just doing a really good job at it. And then there's like the whole thing about the exposition in this episode, and it, for what it was, all it was, like pretty much for the most part, it was really explaining some stuff that happened in Fate Zero. Not what happened in Fate Zero, but just some of the rules again. But for what it did, for somebody who hasn't watched Fate Zero, such as a couple of friends I know, it did a really good job at it. So it's doing a lot better of a job explaining, the rules of the game, rather like they're doing it progressively episode by episode rather than them just dumping it on you at once. Like, hey, you heard it about this, like I think the last time we got explanation was 2 weeks ago. Then now we're getting it this week. So they're really spacing out the information rather than just dumping it all on you at once. And I think that's something that it's doing a lot better than Fate Zero. But anyways, I think that's really about it. Yeah, this is a really short review. Ren is a typical tsundere, but she'll probably develop. I'm not really scared of that because, she's a tsundere. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.